Hello everyone, and welcome or welcome back if it's not your first time here to the library of Phoebe. I'm Phoebe and it is August. It is officially time to be picking the August TBR. Actually, I lied, it's not August yet. I think it's a day before August officially starts when I'm doing this, but I think by the time I upload this, August will be in motion and it'll be upon us already. So I'm really excited to pick out what we're going to be reading in August because I know there's so much I want to read. I'm in such a reading mood. I want to voraciously consume, appreciate, and analyze literature. So without further ado, I'm going to start by doing the usual, which is picking 3 prompts from the prompt jar. As you'll notice, the prompt jar is different this month because I figured I want a prompt jar that you guys can actually see. So I'm not going to keep it up there like I did before, but it's filled up with some prompts and I'm going to pick some out. I also put some new prompts in here, so it's really exciting. They're all so tightly wrapped up because I went through all of them. All right. I'm nervous. Okay, let's go with, oh, I've got 2. Let's go with this one. Ooh, written by a person of color or a POC author. This is a good one. Okay. I think I know what I want to do already, right off the bat. This is one I had hoped to read in July because it was my July book of the month, but I didn't end up getting to it. I featured it in my haul video, and that is Maggie or A Man and a Woman Walk into a Bar by Katie Yi. Katie Yi, I believe, is a Chinese author, Chinese American, and this is what this is about. A man and a woman walk into a restaurant. It sounds like the start of a joke, or at the very least like the start of a date. Instead, it's the end of a marriage, because on this night, our unnamed narrator finds out her husband is having an affair with a white woman named Maggie. Here's another one. A woman walks into an examination room, but the ache in her breast isn't heartbreak, it's cancer. Over the course of the ensuing months, our narrator embarks on a journey of grief, healing, and reclamation, with her best friend Darlene by her side. She navigates the unfamiliar, new shape of her family, the complexities of parenting in the middle of a divorce, and, most importantly, those annoyingly teeny-tiny paper cups they have in doctor's offices. To cope, our narrator starts talking to her tumor. She creates The Guide to My Husband, a user's manual for her husband's lover. She turns her children's bedtime stories into retellings of Chinese folklore passed down by her own mother in an attempt to make them fall in love with their shared culture, and to maybe save herself in the process. Maggie or A Man and a Woman Walk into a Bar explores the things that we inherit and invites us to take a scalpel to the stories we tell ourselves. This sounds like the perfect read for this exact moment and time in my life this summer, just as a whole. And it's relatively short, just under 200 pages. So I definitely think I'll be getting to this one in August. If I don't, I don't know what happened, because like this is one I really want to read. High priority. Now we can move on to prompt number 2. I'm so nervous. Why am I so nervous now? Because all the prompts are new. Okay, this one. I think this is one of the old prompts. Shortest book on my TBR. I believe it is going to be one of these little black classics. Maybe I'll just do the shortest on here. It's going to be one of these 4 little black classics that are on my cart. The shortest is this book, which is 51 pages, and it is Kenko, A Cup of Sake Beneath the Cherry Trees. So it says here, moonlight, spring blossoms, a woman's hair, a medieval Japanese monk reflects on the idle moments and life's fleeting joys. I've actually heard quite a bit about this on Bookstagram specifically, but I don't really know much about it other than people say it's beautiful. So I'm excited to give it a shot. Time for the last prompt of the video, and then we'll move on to the other portion. Okay, let's go with this one. Oh, there's 2 here. We'll go with this one. Ooh, this one is one-word title. So I'm just looking at the ones I've already started for this, because I think that will be where I want to go. Because there's 2 options. Okay. I'm barely into Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, the 1818 text, but it's really just called Frankenstein. So, and I am a really good chunk, probably almost halfway through Devotions by Mary Oliver. So, I don't know which one to put on my TBR. I think I'm gonna go with Frankenstein, just because this is one it's like an urgent priority read for me. So, let's go with Frankenstein. If you don't know what Frankenstein's about, here it says, Penguin Classics has published the original 1818 text, which preserves the hard-hitting and politically charged aspects of Shelley's original writing, with its strong female voice and unflinching wit, emphasizing Shelley's relationship with her mother. Trailblazing feminist Mary Wollstonecraft, who penned A Vindication of the Rights of Women, Frankenstein, the 1818 text, demonstrates her commitment to carrying forward her mother's ideals and places her in the context of a feminist legacy rather than the sole female in the company of male poets, including Percy Shelley and Lord Byron. This I really need to read because I wanted to read it on my trip to Nova Scotia, which I vlogged, so I'll link the vlog here. And I didn't finish it. I just read like the letters that it begins with. I'm on chapter 1 now, actually. But the novel I'm writing is inspired loosely by Frankenstein. So I wanted to reread Frankenstein and this time have it be the 1818 version because I've read the other version. I don't remember what it is. I think it's like 1831 if I'm not mistaken. But I think it's about time I read the 1818. So since this one is so pressing, this is the one I'm gonna go with. All right, and now it is time for the portion of the video where I pick from my past TBR fails. So these are books that were on past TBRs and I didn't get to them. And so to encourage myself to read them, I've put them all into a note. From this note, I ask Siri to to pick a random number between how many are on the list, and then that will determine which book I put on the TBR again. So you may notice that this time Capital is not on the list anymore, and like by Karl Marx, and that is not because I finished Capital, you guys, but that is because I realize it's going to take me so long that eventually Capital is just going to be the entire list, and I don't know if that's not as fun. So I think I'll just keep it off the list and maybe kind of keep it off the TBRs too, because I'm still going to read it. I'm still on to chapter 3 now, but I don't think I want it taking over all the TBRs, you know what I mean? It's just going to end up on every single TBR. So without further ado, I have options 1 through 20 here. So pick a random number between 1 and 20.
The answer is 9.
She said 9. And 9 is Tortilla Flat by John Steinbeck. So that's actually not on the cart. So I'm going to have to go grab that. All right, here we have my copy. It's this big bind up, so it won't really tell us what it's about, but Tortilla Flat is one of 2 in this that I haven't read, and I'm so excited to get to another John Steinbeck because I just finished East of Eden not that long ago, and I'm just craving more Steinbeck. Steinbeck's probably one of my favorite authors, so super interested in getting into this, and I'll find what it's about here for you. Adopting the structure and themes of the Arthurian legend, Steinbeck created a Camelot on a shabby hillside above the town of Monterey, California, and peopled it with a colorful band of knights. At the center of this tale is Danny, whose house, like Arthur's castle, became a gathering place for men looking for adventure, camaraderie, and a sense of belonging. These knights are Paisanos. Am I saying that right? Paisanos? Men of mixed heritage whose ancestors settled in California hundreds of years before. Free of ties to jobs and other complications of the American way of life, they fiercely resist the corrupting tide of honest toil in the surrounding ocean of civil rectitude. As Steinbeck chronicles their deeds, their multiple loves, their wonderful bras, their Rabelaisian wine drinking, he spins a tale as compelling and ultimately as touched by sorrow as the famous legends of the Round Table which inspired him. So, super excited to get into another Steinbeck. And now we get to do the 2 free picks. So I'm going to start with an easy one, which is this month's book club pick, and that is On the Road by Jack Kerouac. Yes, the book club is revisiting The Beat Generation after reading Junkie in January. I'm so excited. In its time, Kerouac's masterpiece was the Bible of the Beat Generation. The essential prose accompanied it to Allen Ginsberg's Howl. Now a modern classic, its American dream is nearer to that of Whitman than Scott Fitzgerald. And it goes racing towards the sunset with unforgettable exuberance, poignancy, and autobiographical passion. On the Road swings to the rhythms of 50s underground America, jazz, sex, generosity, chill dawns, and drugs, with Sal Paradise and his hero, Dean Moriarty, traveler and mystic, the living epitome of beat. Really interested to read this because, like, I've never read this before. And I feel like this is a good time in my life for it, where I will appreciate it, still in my early 20s. And I'm excited to discuss it with the book club and kind of see how I like it compared to Burroughs, because I do quite like Burroughs. So that will be my first free pick. I think I'm going to pick one that I've already started reading. It's between Devotions and Rent Boy, so I'll get those down. So, Devotions or Rent Boy. I feel like I'm going to finish Rent Boy regardless. So I kind of want to put Devotions on. Yeah, because Rent Boy's so short, I'm already a good chunk of the way through it. But then again, it is one that, like, maybe I want to prioritize. Super heavy. No, but looking at this, I don't have a book on here that's, like, not just, like, a novel, even if it's a short novel. I don't have one that's just, like, little chunks, so I think I'm gonna go with the poetry of Mary Oliver, Devotions. I'm sure if you've watched any of my videos, you've already heard about this, because I've been talking about it a lot recently, since I've really been enjoying it and connecting with it and taking it slowly and reading it throughout. I think I got this in June, and I've just been slowly reading it from June to July and now into August, since I'm currently on page 201, which is the poem Spring. I haven't read it yet, so I'm gonna go on from there. My copy is getting super beat up because I take it with me everywhere. These are just a collection of Mary Oliver's poems that she chose before her death, that she thought maybe represented her best from each of her works that she's published, and combined into one bind-up of Devotions. And they're so beautiful. I think it's perfect summer poetry because it's so nature-based, and in the summer, you know, you really want to be out there with the nature, seeing how it all goes and feel connected to it, and this just really helps you feel connected to it. And I've been kind of going through a rough summer, a summer where I feel so disconnected from everything, from my own humanity, from my own brain, from my body, and so kind of having something to pull me into nature has been really nice, because it kind of grounds me back into who I am too, because humans are a part of this nature. So it's been really wonderful and has given me a lot to think about, and I find it very inspiring. So I'm super excited to continue on with this one. And that concludes the August TBR. This month was actually super nice to me. Like, nothing on here is all that big or chunky. Like, this one looks like it's big and chunky, but that's just because it's a bind-up of, 6 short stories, and I only have to read one of them. So let's go through what each of these is. So we have Maggie, or A Man and a Woman Walk into a Bar by Katie Yee for person of color author. Then we have A Cup of Sake Under the Cherry Trees by Kenko for the shortest book on my TBR cart, that is. And then we have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley for a one-word title. Tortilla Flat by John Steinbeck for a random number generated pick. On the Road by Jack Kerouac for my first free pick and my book club pick. And then we have Devotions by Mary Oliver for my second free pick. And I'm super, super interested and looking forward to the month of August now that I know my TBR. Thank you so much for watching this August TBR video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up, maybe comment something, a prompt idea, or if you've read any of these books. And subscribe. You know you want to subscribe. And I will see you next time on The Library of Phoebe.